Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Hey guys, we're your hosts, Em and Jay. Today we're talking about the rest of the Horde squad, the kids who grew up with Catra and Adora. We talked about Kyle in a previous video, link to that here if you haven't seen it yet. So today we're talking about Lonnie and Rogelio. Like all Horde kids, they're forced to grow up as child soldiers, lied to and manipulated, being told that they're the good guys working to free the planet from the evil princesses. They've never seen life outside the Horde, so they have no idea that this is wrong. The Horde favors physical strength, so the two of them are able to make a way for themselves in this messed up world. They're not on Adora's level, but they can manage, so they're treated much better than Kyle is. They never find a magical sword and aren't constantly bullied, so they don't have a reason to leave. At least not until Catra pushes them too far. Adora escapes the Horde early in the first season, which was a big but difficult step for her, since the Horde and everyone there were the only family she's ever really known, including Lonnie, Kyle, and Rogelio. It's great that she was able to escape the Horde, but for a show that's supposed to be all about interpersonal relationships, it misses a lot of opportunities to actually flesh out those relationships. For example, in the episode No Princess Left Behind, Adora has a run-in with Lonnie. She insists that she's there to get Glimmer and Bo back because they're her friends, and they were kidnapped by the Horde in the previous episode, but Lonnie tells her that they used to be friends.
You think you can just come back here? I need to save my friends. We were your friends.
The thing is, we don't really get to see the depths of their friendship. In the first season of the show, ever since Adora left the Horde, she doesn't really reflect on what she left behind. Growing up, the Horde was all she knew, and I'd imagine she'd be particularly close to the people she shared a team with, like Lonnie, but she never tries to go back for them or convince them to leave, that there's a better way to live, and they would be happier. In fact, she never really thinks about her old friends from the Horde. She never even thinks about Catra in the first 9 episodes, even though she was supposed to be best friends with her. She tried to convince Catra to leave when she left, but when Catra refused, she just moved on with her life, and is now completely happy in Bright Moon. Instead, she acknowledges Catra and the others when she's forced to interact with them, since they keep attacking Etheria and its kingdoms, so by the time we get to this scene in episode 9, it doesn't really hit that hard. It would have helped if they had taken a few moments to show how close Adora was with Lonnie and the others. There could have been a real punch to Lonnie's words here. She does sound really hurt, and it's a shame this wasn't taken advantage of, since this could lead to some really compelling drama, but instead this scene falls flat. So let's take a look at what we do get. In season 4, there was an episode with major parts dedicated to these 3 characters, called Protocol, which would have been a good opportunity to flesh them out. Unfortunately, very little of it was actually substantial, and most of this plot was just filler, and honestly pretty boring, which is a real shame. We do get some strong moments from them, which is frustrating because the whole episode could have been that way, instead of just a couple moments at the end. Regardless of the missed opportunities, the 3 of them are able to come together and recognize that they aren't just soldiers fighting on the same side, but also friends. Rogelio even gives what seems to be a very heartfelt speech, except Rogelio doesn't actually talk, he just roars, so the others can't understand what he's saying, which is a bit surprising considering the fact that they all grew up together. You'd think they would have found a way to understand him by now, like maybe he could use sign language to communicate. Instead, they're forced to humor him, which kind of undercut the moment. Rogelio's definitely the most underutilized of the trio. We didn't even get his name until the D&D episode in season 2. Before that, he was just the lizard guy, which is unfortunate because again, there was so much filler in this show which caused a lot of missed opportunities. On a side note, I do wonder how animals work in this universe. For example, Rogelio can't speak, although he is intelligent, but he's considered a lizard guy, while Swiftwind can speak, but he's still considered a horse, instead of a horse guy or something like that. Is it because he walks on all 4s? Just curious. I understand they're meant to be side characters, but I still think they have an important role. Since they grew up with Adora, they can offer a perspective that we wouldn't get from the best friend squad, which I feel we could have seen more of, like in the episode where they were on a mission in the Whispering Woods. They spent a lot of time playing games trying to figure out who's gonna have to go outside during that strange light storm, but I feel like this time could have been used better. It would have been nice to hear their thoughts on everything that's happened since Adora left. At this point, Lonnie and Rogelio are getting fed up with Catra, and Kyle's the only one who's still optimistic, but that's probably because he's used to being treated like this, while the others aren't. But the two of them are still worried about their responsibilities to the Horde, while Kyle is happy to be stuck in the Whispering Woods, so he can get a break. This could give us an opportunity to hear their hopes and dreams for the future, like what are their plans for after the war? They know Catch was pushing so hard because she's trying to win the war, and this is the closest anyone's ever gotten to finally ending this thing. Do they believe that once this is over, they'll never have to take orders again? Or do they think it'll still be like this when the war's over, with someone bossing them around? Or are they interested in some kind of leadership position, in whatever form that might take, even if it's not high level? But what are their thoughts on Adora? Kyle was able to recognize that she had a better life outside the Horde, and she was one of the best treated of the Horde. But what do Lonnie and Rogelio think? Are they able to recognize the same thing? It might have been nice to see some of their thoughts, because later when they do finally leave, we never find out what becomes of them. Did they have a plan, or were they just gonna wing it? I think it would have been nice to see them meet back up with Adora. It would have been nice to see Adora and Lonnie reconcile after that confrontation they had in episode 9. I understand there was a lot going on, but I think despite the circumstances, we still could have seen them come to realize that life outside the Horde is much better than life in the Horde, which I think would be solid character development for them. The Horde was all they ever knew, and being able to leave it is a huge step. Maybe we could have seen them working together. Since Kyle wanted to leave the Horde, maybe he's been secretly learning about the outside world, and that knowledge could help Lonnie and Rogelio. And since Lonnie and Rogelio are stronger than Kyle, they could likely handle any problems that would require strength. I think it would have been nice to see them working together to make a new life for themselves. So overall, they may be side characters, but they had a lot of potential, and it's really frustrating that it wasn't utilized. In fact, Lonnie was one of the most competent people that the Horde had, and it's a shame she didn't get the recognition she deserved, or that any of them didn't really get their dues. But those are our thoughts. What do you guys think? We'd love to hear from you, so leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching, we really appreciate it. Before we go, we'd like to give a shout out to our members: Caleb Nelson, Stutania, Tyrant Carnivore, Adam K, Shiny Orc Boy, Taylor Ramirez, The Rabbit Mancer, Dash Hound, Haley Kosheva, Ray Thulu, Hunter Rose, General Bolivar, Depth Charge Media, Samru163, and Kopitio Bozinski. If you'd like to become a member, you can hit the join button next to the subscribe button, or you can like and subscribe the video. That helps us out a lot too. We also have a Buy Me Coffee if you're interested in supporting us that way. But thanks again for watching, and we'll see you all in the next video. Bye everyone. Bye guys.